Alright, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do another retro review for you guys today, and today we're going to be talking about the Royal Rumble 1990. So this was the third annual Royal Rumble pay-per-view that they have, and we go all the way back to January 21st, 1990 from Orlando, Florida. And the attendance for the show was 16,000. So this is going to be my final Royal Rumble pay-per-view that I review this year, which next year I'm going to be getting to more Royal Rumble pay-per-view reviews, so stay on the lookout for that next January. But yeah, let's quit wasting time and because I'm going to try to make this a pretty short review. So let's go ahead and get started. So the show opens up with a tag team match. We got the Bushwhackers going up against the Fabulous Rougeaus brothers. This was a pretty solid match. I mean, the Bushwhackers were so over here, during this time period and era, of wrestling. They were so over, with the little kids, and like a majority of the fans, like they were really over. I mean, every time, they were doing their poses in the ring or like they did their signature moves, the crowd popped for them. And, like I said, the Bushwhackers were over. Now, I'm pretty sure Dave Meltzer, he would probably, wouldn't give this a very, high star rating because, that's just the way Dave Meltzer is. But I mean, it was a solid match for what it was. I mean, having the baby faces win to start off the night, during this time period in wrestling, it's smart to do that. But I think the match went on a little too long. They got about 14 minutes in this match. Well, on Wikipedia it says they had 13:35 here. So I think the match went on a little too long. Maybe they could have at least had like a 10-minute match rather than a 13-minute match. But that's just me. But the Bushwhackers ended up winning. They did like their, it's like where one of the Bushwhackers rams his head into like one of the Fabulous Rougeau brothers. So I mean it was a solid opener, but nothing too crazy. And then the next match we had was Brutus the Barber Beefcake going up against the Genius, which the Genius was Lanny Poffo, which is Macho Man Randy Savage's younger brother, which I didn't even realize that. I really wasn't a big fan of the Genius here. Like he was doing like this whole like poem, like type of scholar type of stuff. I didn't really like his character. Never really seen him before very much. I mean, basically in the match, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, once he had the Genius out, he Brutus the Barber Beefcake brought out the scissors, started cutting his hair a little bit, and then we had Mr. Perfect run down to the ring, and basically, and at this point the referee was knocked out. But yeah, we had Mr. Perfect come down to the ring and bring in a steel chair or bring in a chair, and started beating down Brutus the Barber Beefcake, hurting his ribs and stuff. And there was even like a promo that Mr. Perfect guy said, the Genius, his hair might grow back, but I hope Brutus the Barber Beefcake ribs don't heal back properly or something like that. But I mean, it was an okay match. The match ended in a double disqualification. The match was okay for what it was. Wasn't a big fan of the Genius, but Brutus the Barber Beefcake, I mean, he was pretty over here. Like the fans really liked him and stuff. And he was a pretty big dude. Like, not gonna lie, he was a pretty big dude. But I mean, like I said, it was okay for what it was. And then the next match we had was Ronnie Garvin going up against Greg the Hammer Valentine in this mission match. Now, this was definitely not like a WWE like booked match. I feel like this was maybe like some type of like NWA or something like that. Yeah, this was definitely not a WWE style type of match here. This was really hard hitting. They did some nice submissions in this match. A lot of figure four leg locks. They were just going back and forth with their submissions a lot, and like the psychology that these guys had in the ring were really good. Really physical match. I really wasn't a big fan when they were going for pinfall sometimes. Like, they forgot. They go like, oh, yeah, this isn't a pinfall match. And, they forgot sometimes. But no, this was a very enjoyable match. I really enjoyed it. Like, this is definitely a diamond and rough on a Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Like, this is a pretty decent match to watch. But Ronnie Garvin did end up getting the victory. I can't remember how it ended. It wasn't like a sharpshooter, or was it? I don't exactly remember, but I remember Greg to him Valentine submitting here, and they switched back and forth on their submissions and stuff. I mean, it was a pretty good opener. I mean, not opener, sorry, pretty good submission match here, and they got nearly 17 minutes to work in this match. So it's a pretty good time here. And then the next match we had was Jim Duggan going up against a Big Boss Man. And before this match, Jim Duggan was like cutting a promo, and like there was like a word that he kind of like stuttered on, or like he really couldn't get the word out. I don't remember what word he was. I think he was trying to say approached or something like that, or he was trying to say something, but Jim Duggan really couldn't get the word out. But he finally ended up getting it out. So that was kind of that before before their match and stuff. This wasn't a really, I don't remember much from this match. Really short match. I mean, Jim Duggan ended up getting the victory by when Big Boss Man ends up disqualifying himself. He ends up disqualifying himself by using his nightstick, and then Jim Duggan finally ended up bringing in his 2x4 and using that on the Big Boss Man, and the crowd really popped for that. The crowd was really behind him because at this time, Big Boss Man was still a heel, which I'm pretty sure later on in 1990, that's when Big Boss Man went back to being a babyface. But I'm not sure when in 1990. But Jim Duggan ended up winning the match by disqualification. It was okay for what it was. Nothing crazy here. And then we go to the main event, which was the Royal Rumble match. Now, this was a pretty good Rumble match. I mean, these Rumble matches over these, so over 1989 and 1988, this is the best Rumble match I've seen so far, during this time period. And, during the early 90s, this is the best Rumble I've watched. Because, like, with the characters he had in there, I mean, it's not as star-studded as the 1992 Rumble, because that one gets praised a lot, with Ric Flair winning that Rumble that year and all the big stars he had in that match. But you had some really good, bright talent in this match here. So, number one, we had Ted DiBiase come out. He was number one because the year prior, he was number 30 because he basically bought his way to being number 30. The year prior, so in 1989. So he ended up drawing number one because I think Virgil took the ball and that's what number he got. So yeah, Ted DiBiase ended up being number one. And number two ended up being Coco Beware. Let's see, what else was pretty good in this match? Jake Snake Roberts, he did some pretty decent stuff in this match. Randy Savage was doing some nice stuff. Him and Dusty were doing some good stuff here. RP to Dusty. Piper, and you had the whole stuff. Like, this match really ended up setting up a lot of things for WrestleMania 6. Because, you had the whole stuff with Roddy Piper and Bad News Brown, which, they had their little feud going. Because, was it Bad News Brown ended up eliminating Piper? I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, but you had the whole Bad News Brown and Roddy Piper stuff going on, and then they had the whole like white half painted, half face painted black at WrestleMania 6. The whole controversial stuff that was terrible there. Dusty Rhodes, like I say, he came out in number 10. This was the only Royal Rumble match that Dusty Rhodes was in, but yeah, I mean that was some okay stuff there. You had Dusty Rhodes and Randy Savage. Dusty ended up eliminating Randy Savage by doing like a back doing like a backdrop, and Randy Savage ended up going to the floor. What else was good there in this match? Hulk Hogan, wait, hold on. No, we're not quite to Hogan yet. Ultimate Warrior, so during the first part of the Rumble match, it was good. And then, during the second part of the Rumble, we had Ultimate Warrior come out at number 21. He was eliminating a lot of people. I think he had a total of 6 eliminations. That's what it shows on here. And then you had, later on in the match, you had Hulk Hogan come out at number 25. And he also had a total of 6 eliminations. But I thought Hogan had less eliminations. I thought he had like 5, but I guess it shows that he had 6 eliminations on here. Which I like how they, the whole stare down between Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. And the whole crowd going crazy for that. Basically kind of previewing, what could this is going to be a match at WrestleMania, so that's pretty cool there, the whole stare down that they had. And I like the way everything happened, where Hogan eliminated the Warrior, Ultimate Warrior, Barbarian, and Rick Rude. And it's because the year prior, when Hogan eliminated Randy Savage got back into the ring, and they did like a whole stare down, and Miss Elizabeth was all there and stuff, and they did that whole handshake. But this year, when Ultimate Warrior got eliminated, I thought, okay, maybe the same thing might happen. Maybe Ultimate Warrior might get in the ring, but no, he ended up beating up the Barbarian and Rick Rude, or like trying to beat up the Barbarian stuff. Beating up some guys on the outside. He being really upset. But yeah, I kind of previewed like that we were getting this match at WrestleMania. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So this basically set up Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, set up their match at WrestleMania 6. And I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, Ultimate Warrior should have won this match." But with Hulk Hogan being the WWE champion, I think it was right to have him end up winning the match, because, if the WWE champion cannot win the match, then, to be honest, I don't think they should be champion at that point, you know what I mean? And it makes the Rumble match more credible that the champion did win. And a big star like Hulk Hogan, like I said, it makes this match more memorable. And it makes it more legitimate. So that was after. So I didn't mind Hulk Hogan winning here. 26, we had Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was barely in this match. Like, he got eliminated by the Ultimate Warrior. He was like in there for like 15 seconds, if that. But yeah, the final 4, it came down to Rick Rude, Hercules, Mr. Perfect, and Hulk Hogan. And it was a pretty good final 4, not bad. Hogan ended up eliminating Mr. Perfect to end up winning the match. So basically, Hogan and Mr. Perfect, they were kind of feuding a little bit at this time. So, nice kind of ends off their feud, and Mr. Perfect gets eliminated there at the end. Which Mr. Perfect ended up drawing number 30 in this match. Yeah, and Mr. Perfect ended up being number 30. So he, drew a pretty good number. A perfect number if add that, and that was a pun intended. But no, it was a good Rumble. Like, the beginning of the Rumble was good, and then once he got once he got into like the 20s, it was, really good. You had some, Warrior in here. You had Hogan, Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, So, this was, you had a lot of big stars in this match. And like I say, having Hogan win makes this Rumble match, and having the WWE champion makes this match more credible, and, really makes it more legitimate. So, yeah, that was my Royal Rumble 1990 review. Feel free to go down in the comments below. Tell me if you watch a show, or if you haven't, if you watch a show, let me know what your favorite match on this show is, and tell me what videos that you want to see. If you want to see some different retro reviews coming up on my channel, go down in the comments, let me know. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if this is your first time ever checking out my channel. Also, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video. Share the video to all your friends, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, whoever. Share this video, because the more time you share the video, the more my channel gets out there. So share the video, like the video, subscribe, and also turn on my notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And like I said, subscribe, and also go check out my predictions for NXT Vengeance Day, which it should be up by now, so definitely go check that out. And this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I will catch you guys in my next video, so peace out.